In just 6 days, my client went from 400 followers on Instagram to over 10,000. And in this video, I'm breaking down the exact strategy my team and I used for her to reach these results. So firstly, before Liz started working with us, she was sitting at around 180 followers, and she was struggling with a few things when it came to creating content online. So firstly, she had no idea what type of content she should be creating, and she was unclear on who her target audience was. Secondly, she didn't have the skills or time to script and edit high quality content. And thirdly, she had no idea about camera gear and what she even needed to start creating content. So the first thing we did was hop on an onboarding call where I got to learn more about her business and her personality. And this call gave me a clear understanding of all the different types of content we could create and the overall brand strategy we should implement. From there, we moved into phase 2, which was prepping the scene. And here we worked together to find the best place in her apartment to start shooting the content. And a key thing to understand when you're choosing your shooting setup is that you want to make it as seamless as possible to create. So that means you want to remove any friction to create content. So in Liz's case, that meant having a dedicated area where she could leave everything from her lights, cameras, and microphones always set so that all she had to do was sit down and hit record. And this is something I see so many beginners struggle with. And it was even something I dealt with when I first started creating content. At the time, my apartment was so small that every time I wanted to create content, I had to physically set everything up, and once I finished shooting, I would need to pack everything down and repeat this process every time I created. It was a nightmare. So we wanted to ensure we avoided this for Liz, so in the end we went with this setup, which consisted of a microphone that was already clamped to her desk for her Zoom calls, a cheap light from Amazon, and a tripod to hold her phone. And yes, Liz was able to generate millions of views and over 15,000 followers just using her smartphone. Because as you'll see later in this video, when your video edits are high quality, it can make up for using a lower quality camera. But now with her shooting setup ready to go, we moved into phase 3, which was now prepping the content. And here my team and I began scripting out her content and prepping it out so that all she needed to do was sit down and start recording. And to do this, our research team went to places like Quora.com, Facebook groups, and other online resources to first become educated about her niche. From there, we compiled a list of the most engaged questions their target audience was asking, and after we had about 100 questions, we began filtering these down to the top 30 that had the highest possible chance of going viral. And now that we had 30 of the best content ideas, we then scripted each idea into a video script using my HVC framework, which consists of a hook, valuable information, and a call to action. So you've probably already heard this before, but the hook is the most important part of your videos, and it really determines if a video will pop or it will flop. So for Liz's account, we went into our hook database and chose the best 30 that fit her niche. But if you're struggling with hooks, here are some of my favorite styles of hooks that you can screenshot and use for your videos. So we have the question hook, the negative hook, the controversial hook, the pain hook, and the no BS hook. But now, a pro tip is to make your hooks as clear and concise as possible. So you want to cut out any filler words or any fluff. And also your vocal tone and visual elements in your video are just as important as what you say in your hook. So just keep that in mind. For the value section of Liz's scripts, we made sure we delivered as much actionable advice as possible. Because one of the biggest mistakes that people make when creating educational content is just providing broad level advice. And at the end of the day, this is the type of content that never gets anywhere. And an example of advice versus actionable advice would be this. So let's say you're a fitness coach and you're creating content that helps people build more muscle. Instead of saying lift weights and eat more protein to build muscle, you want to provide actionable advice like go to the gym 5 times a week and eat 1.5 grams of protein per kilogram of your body weight. So basically, you want to be more specific with the advice you give, and you want to give your viewers the exact roadmap they should follow to reach their desired result. But now for the final pillar of the scripting framework we use for Liz is the call to action. And the call to actions in your video should always be clear, simple, and guide your viewers to take a single action. So for example, for this video, the call to action was to comment the word strategy to get access to a free training. And by having this one clear call to action, Liz was able to receive over 22,000 comments on her post, which then helped the algorithm push this content out to more people. And a common mistake I see creators doing is asking their viewers to do multiple things. So for example, you've probably seen YouTubers ask you to like their video, leave a comment, and subscribe to their channel. And this is such a big mistake because the more choices you give your viewers, the less likely they're gonna do anything at all. So when you're planning out your videos, decide what action you want your viewers to take and commit to it. But now, once the scripts are ready, we moved into the shooting phase. And this was super simple because we advised Liz to just use her smartphone so she didn't have to worry about the camera settings, and she also used a teleprompter, which made it really easy for her to just sit down and record all of the videos. And on average for our clients, it takes about 2 to 3 hours to film 30 videos. But now, once the content was shot, she sent the files over to my team and we began piecing the edits together. At this point, we had already onboarded Liz and we already worked together to build out a specific style for her videos, so there wasn't much back and forth or revisions needed, which helped speed up this process even more. With that said, after about a week and a half, we had all the edits finalized and ready for post, and from here we started posting daily. And a pro level strategy that we used to help blow up Liz's account was a comment to DM strategy. And basically, this is when you ask someone to comment a keyword on your post, which then triggers an automated conversation in their DMs. And to set these automated conversations, we use a tool called ManyChat. And the reason this strategy works so well is because you can set up these automated conversations to collect emails and drive more sales for your products on autopilot. But on top of that, since people are commenting on your post, the algorithm will push your content out to more people, which then increases the chances of your videos going viral. It's seriously a win-win strategy, and this played a huge part in making this video gain over 1 million views and over 20,000 comments. We have continued to rinse and repeat this exact blueprint for Liz, and today she is sitting at over 19,000 followers. And if you want to replicate these results for your personal brand, then my team and I would love to jump on a free strategy call with you and answer any questions you may have and to see if this is even a good fit. So if you're interested to learn more, you can click the button below and book a time that works best for you. And again, I really appreciate you taking the time to watch this case study, and I look forward to helping you grow your online authority.